Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode number 40, Big 40 of Extend the Drive Best Ball Live. Got a very special guest. I'm Sean Mitchell, your host, where Best Ball is always king here at Extend the Drive. Very a special guest here with us on the channel tonight. Former champion, part of the established run team. He doesn't really need much of an introduction. Let's go ahead and bring him on, Mr. Justin Herzig. Justin, how's it going, man?
Doing well. Just before this, I was going through some of your recent tweets, the ones that you always do to kind of catalog all the information.
Yes,
one
sir.
of the sources, one of the many sources I use for the FFN60 newsletter, and so great to be here.
Absolutely, and hey, I also obviously subscribe to the FFN60. Great newsletter, man. And why don't you go ahead and tell everybody? I mean, hopefully everybody knows about it already because I know you got a ton of subs. I know you're doing really well with it. It's a very, very great resource. But tell the people a little bit about that while we had it brought up here.
For sure. Yeah, no, we're at around 8,000 subs, trying to get a 10K before the season starts.
Nice.
But it's a free newsletter, ffn60.com. And the whole premise was, as I had my first child, she's now 18, 19 months old. I needed to get away from the computer and spend a little more time like touching grass, but also can't just ignore all the, all the things that we need to worry about with best ball and fantasy and all that. So trying to think, can I create a resource for people that they can digest each morning in 60 seconds and just that kind of, hey, get the high level, get the most important things in case you weren't tuned in all yesterday. And people enjoy it. So I just keep doing it.
Yeah, it's been a fan. It's one of the first things, obviously, I read in the morning. So highly appreciate you doing that. Obviously, I scour the internet for all kinds of different things as well. And one of those is definitely your resource there. So it's definitely the first thing that I get to in the morning and start my day off with that. So it's a cool thing. Like you said, it's real quick. I see you got the dog over there. But it's a quick read, man. That's kind of the whole prompt thing that prompted me to kind of start doing the notes that I do too as well. I just wanted to curate something where I could put it all in one spot, let everybody be able to see it daily, just read through the most important notes. Mine's obviously also more fantasy focused. So that's just kind of the way it goes. But Justin, so we are 2 days now from Hall of Fame game. Thursday kicks off. The preseason. We are in the thick of it, like you said right before we hopped on here, man. We're there. Like we've gotten to the point now where how are you going about the camp news? And also, is this a ramp up period for your drafting session right now? Are you slowing down? Are you kind of taking the foot off the gas? What's kind of the outlook right now for your drafting season?
Yeah, definitely ramping up. I mean, anything I do, I'm always just trying to think like, where is my edge? And then once I can identify what that is, how can I lean as much into that as possible? And, me specifically, but I think just about anyone, I mean, definitely you, people who are watching the stream are the ones who are actually in the weeds. And so when there is actual information, we're the ones who can capitalize on it the most. And that's why August is one of the main reasons why I'm doing the majority of my drafts. Now, yes, there is a lot of noise out there and we got to figure out how can we what signal, what's noise, and kind of scour through it all. That's one of the things like with the newsletter that I'm trying to do is it's not just like report everything, but give my take on what actually matters. And I think just doing this year over year, get a kind of good sense of what really actually does matter. And then work with ETR. They do some amazing work around regards to the rankings, the projections, the change log, all of that. And that's where right now, and then also the next couple of weeks, we're starting to see things like Jaden Bluth. They're really trying to actually make it work with him. They like the talent. They need someone besides Javonte. And so I just took him right before this about a round early because I think that's a player that is going to keep rising. And I want to make sure I'm buying in on Marshawn Lloyd. We're a couple weeks into training camp practices and he actually
He's staying healthy finally.
And we saw with Christian Watson too. So maybe there is something to kind of these injury recoveries. And those are the type of things where I was a little too, concerned or just the price, it wasn't worth the risk a month or two ago to be drafting those type of guys. But now that we know the news, yeah, I'll pay a 16th round or something, a 15th round because there's not that much difference. And so, yeah, definitely ramping up volume. Definitely trying to leaning into whatever news information edge you can.
Are there any other than injuries, like Ricky Pearsall, Chris Brazzell, so those guys that, we know, obviously that's just bad luck, but are there any guys that you're purposely now slowing down on other, I know you talked about Blue, there's some other guys that are getting a lot of camp buzz right now, Stripling, those guys, there any guys that you're just like, yeah, I was maybe a little higher on them before. Now that we're getting a little more news, maybe they're not popping off as much in the news. Is there any of those guys that one or two that maybe you're like, yeah, I was high on them before, and now I'm kind of backtracking just a bit? Like I haven't really heard nothing great about it, or
that's tough. I mean, the easy answer is the opposite of whoever that other RB2 that didn't get the job, that isn't leaning into the job. And so, you can talk about Chris Brooks or something. You can talk about the Jordan James and the Kalen Black, like back and forth. And just, as you take one, I stop taking the other. And because I still think like whoever is that RB2, it's a very valuable role behind CMC from an injury aspect and contingency. But if we think about like more relevant, like top of draft stuff, I think like Travis Etienne is one where Alvin Kamara, like he still gets, yes, he restructures it. He still gets a $6 million contract. That's not nothing. And now you have a team that like doesn't actually throw to their running backs that often. So it doesn't make me that excited about Kamara, but when they're not already throwing to their running backs, but Kamara will get maybe 3 to 4 of those targets a game. Now Etienne's going to get 1 to 2 from like when I'm trying to project it out, like that hurts you a little. Yes, he can still, be a strong pick, but there's also, like I was talking to Evan Silva, and he was like, what if Kamara actually has the goal line role? Like Etienne hasn't had a clear goal line role his entire career. You see even with Mitchell Tootin last year, like it went a little back and forth. Kamara is the veteran. Like Kamara still has like an inside run game, not the explosiveness, but that kind of short down and distance. So what if Etienne's not catching that many passes and Kamara's like playing some of the goal line? It gives me a little pause for concern when I want to be bullish on the Saints, and I'm pretty bullish on all the other Saints.
I agree. And I'm in the same boat. And that is literally the perfect example because I'm the same way. Like I wanted some Etienne. I did get some early, and then, it looked like Kamara was probably going to projectedly to get cut. They were going to save a lot of money, and, And then I really slowed down like you too, but I'm very big on the whole Saints offense. So that one kind of hurt. It was like, he paid him a lot of money to come, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, now they're going to mix him in. Saw the reports yesterday. He's getting third down work. He's getting passing work. So already it caps the ceiling. So especially with the price that Etienne's going at. But so let's get into the best ball side of things here, man. How many drafts have you done? Are you trying to I guess we're not really chasing any overlay at the current moment. But is there any contest you're just, hey, I want to focus on these, want to get these knocked out? Or if you've already done, I mean, I'm sure you're probably maxing BBM, probably a couple of other contests. So what are you kind of looking at right now?
Yeah, so prior to like today, so we're talking more like the May, June, July time period.
Sure.
I try not to waste is the wrong word, not to use my bullets in those marquee contests, the DraftKings Millie, the BBM. Now, I'm still doing a bunch of streams, so I've still probably streamed, 15, 20 of the either BBMs or DraftKings Millies and such. But for the most part, like I'm trying to hold as much of those as possible. So you've seen me just in doing as many of these time box contests as possible. Yeah. The ones where that edge that I talk about in August, I'm not missing out on because if I'm not drafting in August because those contests aren't existing. They already filled.
Exactly.
That's what I've really tried to lean into. That $59 contest on DraftKings is pretty close to filling. It's slow, but like when you're waiting, but like I'm more of a fast drafter. But like, so when that was available, I was popping in, doing some other stuff here and there. Going forward, all the marquee ones I'll max. I think for the Best Ball Mania for the DraftKings, I'll do it normal. For the drafters, I'll probably do another auto draft strategy like I did last year.
I was going to ask about that. I didn't know if you still plan to do that again or not.
Yeah, I think so. We could talk a little more about that. I'm really considering doing it for the Eliminator as well. Thinking through, like, it's an awesome contest. And if you can structure it correctly, like, yes, I'll probably lose some EV from a bye weeks aspects. But the stacking isn't nearly as important. And that's the biggest thing you lose out on from a auto draft strategy. So still tinkering with that, but I could see myself potentially maxing out that one from a purely auto draft strategy. But I got to play with it, do some sims on my own to see like, hey, will this really work? And will I feel comfortable with their teams? Yeah,
I really like the Elim. That's honestly the one that I've kind of been focusing on here recently. When all the other smaller time boxes had closed out for a few days, I was trying to hammer those out. I think it's a really fun format. It's a really fun sweat. Like if you do get, a number of teams through, right off the bat, it begins to start being a really fun sweat. After you get into the 1v1s, you're basically doing heads up against everybody weekly. So, and that's kind of what I said on the live stream. I think it was with Justin McMahon, where I was like, it turns into almost like your home league, where you're like, it's just weekly. You go against head to head versus somebody. So it kind of brings back that little bit of aspect. But so you are going to probably do the auto draft, which you did really well in that, right? Last year you won the contest, right?
I got second. I got second for 200K.
Okay. Gotcha.
First place team was an amazing team. Like literally, I think 50.
I knew it was first or second.
Yeah. But I think I had second. Then I had 2 more in the top 25 as well.
Right.
And it was just a tighter player pool. And my drafting for there, and you can go back to my Twitter from I think probably like the first couple days of September, maybe the very end of August, where I just outlined exactly like, hey, here's what my structure, here's what my strategy, here's what I'm trying to attack. And there was just a lot of edges, especially like I was looking into the Jonathan Taylor, Daniel Jones one. We didn't know Daniel Jones was starting until 2 weeks before the season started. That's true. As soon as that information came out, like Jonathan Taylor needed to be bumped up. His other pass catchers, like it's just a completely different structure there. Harold Phantom was another one who wasn't being drafted the whole year. And then as it looked like a week or 2 before the season, it wasn't being drafted nearly high enough. And so was able to just get overexposure on players that I really wanted. And I'm far more comfortable leaning into a strategy. Like, yes, stacking helps your team because you're making like bets on a season long, but it's not nearly as important as like when you have these playoff structures. You need to finish 1 out of 14, 1 out of 12, 1 out of 16, whatever it is in the playoff. Yeah. You almost have to have, not have to, you really should be focused.
You need it. Yeah, totally agree. And yeah, I get that. And yeah, you did. I mean, you pretty much outlined exactly what you were going to do, which I thought was excellent too, because you're like, there's process. And then of course you had an amazing run out there. But we are in a BBM here, which interestingly enough, we do have the 8th pick here. Before we jump into the pick, and I'm going to let you, obviously, as always, all the guests take the picks. And hopefully we have a nice sweat at the end. We chop everything 50-50 after the taxes. I'm sure as a former BBM winner, you already understand. But who are you thinking here? Are you doing the meta with the running backs? Are you trying to take these wide receivers early? What's your strat right here?
We can go Amon Ross. I'm good with that. But I would have gone JT if he was still available there. Okay. It's extremely difficult to convince yourself that it's worthwhile to pull up a running back in this position. Yeah. You're not going to gain any uniqueness because the same running backs that you're going to get like later on, people just have their own taste of what they like. So at the 12, 13, like people are taking just a random hodgepodge of the running back. So you're not getting uniqueness. There's a small chance that like the running backs go that you maybe don't like. So maybe you're stuck with an Achane, or for me, like I'm not that high in Hampton. Sure. Take the wide receivers. There's a strong teardrop there. And then I'm still happy with grabbing a running back, and the running backs that are available in that third are still pretty strong usually. Yeah,
I agree. And that's kind of the way I'm going now. Because look, right when we get, just like you mentioned, like right when we get into this range here, I'm already knowing I'm going to be underweight on 3 or 4 of these running backs because, like you said, like everybody's got their own taste. I'm not taking a lot of Barkley. I'm kind of like you. I'm not just overly happy about Hampton, Achane, like you mentioned. I'm not really just wanting to target him as well. But yeah, like there's just a ton of running backs here, and of course we have the 2 that we just talked about. So what do you like for here, Justin?
This is the time I grab Hampton. Like, I mean, if you're going to be doing it, you're now at least doing it a little better ADP. We're probably getting a little more uniqueness.
With a lot better price for sure. Yeah.
But I would have taken kind of literally every running back that went ahead of Hampton there. Actually, not Chase Brown. Everyone besides Chase Brown, I would have taken above Hampton.
Are you off Chase Brown with that being said, or are you just not loving where he's going more than the player?
I think that he really is he's a volume play that even with the elite volume is still not really going to be making a charge on that RB overall one.
Right.
And there's probably a little more floor risk in him where we were seeing like he was being taken off the field a little for Samaje Perine and such. And now
did not like that.
Yeah, the reports are positive. The most likely case for Chase Brown is he's going to be a fine pick. He'll be an average advance rate player. You're not going to be upset barring injury. But I think the upside from a Saquon, from a Derrick Henry, Kenneth Walker, like I can tell myself just a stronger story, even a Marion Hampton. Hampton's upside is as high as any's, but his floor is probably lower than Chase Brown.
Sure. Yeah, and like the whole Taj Brooks thing, like everybody was really high on Taj Brooks going into last season. You know, nobody really talked about P-Ryan, but, you know, I know I was kind of getting into the Brooks thing, obviously thinking he was going to take a little bit of that work, and it was P-Ryan. So that was even more a bit of a weird situation there. But, yeah, I agree. Like Chase Brown is just in that weird spot where you just I don't know. He's hard to take, I feel like, with that run of running backs. But we are about to come back up here. So within the first 3 rounds, you're typically one of the guys. Are you more of a I want to get my stands, or are you more of don't really want to fade just really anybody? Maybe getting into the 3rd or 4th round possibly. But what's your outlook on that? I know a lot of best ball players will say, yeah, you can't really fade anybody fully in the 1st or 2nd round. What's kind of your take?
Yeah, I'm definitely fine fading a player. Usually it's more of a structural thing where if I feel that, you know, Trey McBride at 32 is pretty crazy. ADP, it's only a few spots back, but the fact that he just continues to fall, like I'm not.
He does. And I mean, the whole, you know, thesis was that they didn't know, you know, I get it, Brissett might not start the whole year, so-and-so, but didn't we want Brissett to be the guy that, you know, because he would kind of latch on to McBride, and now it's like he's falling, and we got that, and it's like I don't really understand it either, to be honest.
I'm happy to make the bear case here. Obviously, like I'm a value drafter, so it makes sense to take him there. But for me, I get the fall being, you don't want to stack with Jacoby Brissett. I don't think Jacoby Brissett is actually going to be playing in the fantasy playoffs. I think it'll be Carson Beck, so that gives you substantial concern. Just what is the offense going to look there? Second is, they didn't have any other QB behind him last year that they were really kind of like, it was, hey, we knew we were going to suck. We were okay with sucking. Just sling it, just go for it, and whatever. Now you made an investment in Jeremiah Love. It seems like they're going to make it a bit more. Like, I don't think they're going to let him just drop back and do what he did last year. If you look at Brissett in New England, he wasn't just the slinger type player. Like, that was a structure from last year.
Right. No, I totally agree. Yeah, and that's again, but like you, I'm going to take him in the 30s because I've seen him go much higher than that at times. I've gotten a couple, but we are back on the clock here with our 45 or the 41 pick. What are you thinking here, Justin? As we
I'm good with Javonte. I thought to make a hot take and say Josh Jacobs over Javonte there. I think that every day that we don't hear about a potential suspension is just that much, more likely he plays the entire year.
Yeah.
My general thought here is if we don't actually end up seeing a video or pictures that force Goodell's hand, then he doesn't want to bring light to this and he'll let it play out in courts, and then we're not going to see anything until next year. I think that's the most likely scenario here. Something like that. That's why I'm usually like, I get Javonte. ETR has him ranked a little higher too, but I think Jacobs, we're going to see some movement. So if you want him, pack your bags now.
Sure. And even, like you said earlier, when we were talking with the Jadon Blue, and Phil Maffa starting to get some run, it looks like the funny thing before, the preseason, it was Jadon Blue versus Malik Davis. And now it looks like Malik Davis might be on the roster cut. But like you said, like barring injury, Javonte, had such a massive workload last year. I don't see either of those guys taking much away from that. But I'm with you on Jacobs. Like, I'm buying anywhere over 40 that I can get him. It's like you said, it's like the ongoing investigation. We've seen this play out over time and time and again, where it'll play in the next year. Maybe it doesn't. Nothing comes about it at all, and he's just scotch free. And he plays the whole season like nothing ever happened, or something happens midseason and it's pushes all the way in the next year. Like, we see this happen all the time. It feels like. I think there's a lot of people that are, a lot of people want to mention he was kind of more inefficient last year. But, I mean, the guy was getting a ton of work last year, and he dealt with a couple of injuries. So I still think the Packers offense is going to be pretty good. I think they're going to be pretty decent this year. So I think Josh Jacobs is a smash at 40+. But we are coming around the turn. So let me ask you, Justin, as a former BBM, which I always wanted to, I think I told you before, but I was in that finals, the one you won. I think I got like 48th or 47th. But I do recall you were kind of running your own sims for each player and the projections, and you put it on Twitter. You're like, "Hey, do you want me to run it?" And I was like, "Yeah, tell me what you project mine to be like." And it was better than what I finished, but either way. What do you feel? How do you feel about the regular season prize structure? They didn't have it last year, had it the year before. What do you think about the regular season? I know it's not just a huge number, but do you like it? Are you for it? Are you against it? What's your thoughts on the regular season payouts?
I think anything that adds more entertainment value, I'm all for. Like if you're talking purely from like an EV and trying to squeak out these tiny elements, like at the end of the day, any payout is payout. So like the EV doesn't really change. Like you can argue your strategy does here and there.
Right.
But I'm all for it. Just adds entertainment aspect. I do not want Mike Evans with this. Just
okay.
Like substation.
Staying away from the Niners at the moment.
I like JMO. We can continue with the Detroit. I don't often end up with that much Amon-Ra JMO double stack, so I think that's a fun one.
Yeah, I agree. I'm good with it if you're good with it.
Yeah, let's do it. If I wasn't doing, go for it.
I think I was talking to Justin the other day on our stream, and we talked about like not doing, which we should be doing a lot more now, but doing a lot more of those double stacks. And that was one that I mentioned. I was like, I feel like that would be a really fun one, and I don't feel like it happens a lot. So it's kind of ironic that we got that there, and it was kind of just fell in our lap. It's not like we actually had to run for it, but I knew you were about to leave with something else. So what did you have on your mind there?
I end up with a lot of Laporta and then either Amon-Ra or JMO. And probably it's actually a little more JMO. But like that type of stack. But yeah, I mean, is there, I don't know. If I was to think through and rank the QBs that I'd want a double stack from in that offense, I mean, Goff's got to be top 3. Just you have a high scoring offense, maybe going to lead the league in TDs.
He can definitely
have
support too. Yeah.
Indoor games, playoffs, or whatever. Pocket passer, so like majority of the scoring is going to be, throwing. Yes, you have Gibbs who's running, so that detracts a little from it. But
he's very good in the passing game too. So
yeah, true.
What are you thinking here? Obviously, huge slew of running quarterbacks, a couple running backs, and really slide on the wide receivers. What are you thinking?
I'm all about Jadarian Price. I think that the time, especially because he's plays Thursday night, right? I don't know if I think is it Seattle, Arizona?
No, it's Carolina and Arizona.
Okay.
Panthers.
But yeah, so when he plays, no. It's the Hard Knocks. That's what's coming out. Yes. Hard Knocks of the Seattle. I was trying to think like something's going to start triggering. People are going to start noticing because I'm sure but the ones who've paid attention to camp, like he has been lighting up the camp reports, passing game usage all over. And I get like maybe Charbonnet's health is a good situation and like it's more positive than we thought. There's a non-zero chance that Price just blows him away. And yes, I know this team like used Kenneth Walker and Sharbs as a kind of duo. Like it's not a team that wants to fully commit to one running back, but he's also a first-round running back, and you have to kind of move past your priors if wasn't that exciting of a running back comparative. Look at that QB run that just went.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at that too. That's crazy how early that's going. Which generally, but yeah, it's rare to see it go back to back to back like that.
Yeah, there's if we want to talk about this draft, there's a couple interesting teams that I've been watching.
I saw Waddle. This one caught my eye first, and I don't know how you guys have him ranked. I know he's moving up, obviously crazily now with all the camp news, but Waddle was going in the mid-50s, I believe, not even a week ago, and now he's already up. Lower mid-35.
36 there, Burden 37, and that's also the one who took Chase Brown 12. So like while he's reaching, it's definitely a very unique team.
Right.
The other one, Chip Skylark here, starting 4 straight.
All the running backs. I saw Chipsy, obviously a very known grinder in the UD streets. I saw the four running backs start there, and I was like, oh, he's getting a little high tea, isn't he? I don't know. I was looking around. I don't know if any other ones are just getting a little weird or anything. I don't really see anything that just catches the eye at the moment. But, yeah, I saw that too. I wanted to, like you said, the turn there. That's really interesting.
Yeah. I don't hate any of those Chip Skylar picks for running backs. I think the Drake May is a little interesting when you know you're going to be behind at running back. Wide receiver.
Going quarterback there. What do you think here?
I love Jaden Reed here. I love I think you can get a little better Alec Pierce I would go Jaden Reed.
Totally fine with that. I think he could easily. Are you going to believe that he plays more than just slot this year? Are you in that camp, or are you thinking that he is still mainly just a slot player?
No.
I mean, I know that's been the big topic, discussion with the whole rotation of Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, Matthew Golden, which looks to be the firm 3 that's going to be, set to play the most out of that wide receiver group. How are you parsing those guys right now?
I think it's Matthew Golden and Christian Watson will be the 2 wide receiver sets. The thing is, I think they're going to have so many 3 wide receiver sets, and there's just not going to be the rotation that we saw in previous years that it's going to be a major win for him. There's also the outs of if either Christian Watson, oft injured, or, Matthew Golden, either injured or just really sucks.
Like Jaden Reed had his fair share of injuries too. I mean, so yeah, he's not exactly out of the wood, right?
But from a contingency standpoint, like if one of those gets hurt, then what happens? And even if Jaden Reed still only plays in the 3 wide receiver sets, whoever that next running back, that next wide receiver up is, I mean, Jaden Reed is just going to earn a higher degree of targets, even if he's still only playing in those 3 wide receivers. Like, I'm still bullish on him, still bullish on the talent.
Fully.
The fact that he didn't go back in that game in week 17 2 or 3 years ago did cost me $1 million. But,
a little bit of a sour spot there, huh?
Another second place. Yeah.
We are going back up here. We do have a 0-3-3-1 at the moment, 3 running backs, 3 wide receivers, and a tight end. What are you thinking here, Justin?
All right, we don't need a Goff yet. I like another wide receiver. I like Jordan Addison, probably the one that jumps out to me first.
I'm definitely heavy on the Jordan Addison.
Okay, and then let's put Goff in that queue because I think we probably got to take him with the next pick.
Yeah, I would probably say so myself. And going back on the whole Packers wide receiver thing, which I thought was really interesting. I forgot who it was that reported it. It was yesterday or the day before, but basically they said that they had a lot of times during the games, they had no clue what the rotation was that was going into the game. And I was like, wait, what did they just say? Like they basically flat out just admitted that at times the OC didn't even know who the rotation of wide receivers that was going in and out. I was like, that's even crazier than whatever you could think of with this wide receiver group. But yeah, I wanted to bring that up because I was just like, why would you admit to that? That's something that you just like, why would you say that for one thing? But yeah, obviously hope all the reports that we heard of from LaFleur, scrapping the playbook, taking it down to the bones, trying to make it more simplified. I'm definitely all the way in on the Green Bay passing game. I guess the whole offense if you throw in Jacobs, but it's funny.
I mean, what if Jacobs does get suspended?
He could.
Now you're going to throw a little more. I mean, yeah, I think Jordan Love. I think any of those pass catchers. I think Tucker Kraft is a great pick as well, with the health looking pretty strong. I've got a lot of Packer stacks.
Okay. And Kraft, is always kind of the one that I feel like I leave out because I have a hard time paying the price for him. I get it. Yeah, the progress of what he looks like for the rehab with the knee looks great. All the doctor says it looks like the best he's ever seen. Whatever. We get those kind of comments a lot.
Goff just went.
Yeah,
second QB to,
and it had Burrow there, huh? Chase Burrow, and then decides to did he ever
make it Goff?
I was gonna say, doesn't even have.
Laporta went over the TPO Mafia. Gibbs went 1.01. Okay, let's start thinking through. Can we see a team real quick?
Yeah.
Jordan Love, we can put in the queue while we think through. Yeah. Kyler Murray, is Kyler available?
Yep, Kyler's there.
I think we probably go back to back here, unless we don't need a tight end.
I mean, yeah, we look good. We can definitely double tap quarterback if we want to,
let's
make sure we grab him.
Double tap. Yeah, the other option would have been Matthew Golden and then Jordan Love with the next one.
But Golden, well, we definitely won't get. We won't get them both. But yeah,
right.
I have seen Golden fall, but I don't think he's going to fall that much. But
yeah,
that's
and
crazy.
Then Kyler wouldn't have fallen. So I think Kyler Jordan, given our situation.
Yeah, that's going to be multiple spike weeks there out of Jordan Addison. Obviously, and I mean, I'm sure you're firmly in the camp that Kyler wins the job, right? I mean, I don't think there's really much discussion.
What does he have to win?
That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, it's. I still see some of that discourse on the timeline sometimes. I'm like, what are we really talking about? Like, there's no.
Oh my God, Jordan Love just goes. This is
man. They were quarterback crazy in this BBM. And I've been seeing it. It's funny because I haven't exactly been hammering out BBMs because I've been kind of saving some for the stream, saving some for the off time, doing elims. But I heard today that the streaks were crazy, and they're not lying. Like, this is pretty ridiculous.
Okay. Let's throw Wandale in there for a Cam Ward back stack.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we still have pretty strong running backs. I don't feel like we need to force it, and Wandale is a good position. Yeah,
I was going to say these running backs are just kind of hit or miss too, anyways. For that part, I mean, I am taking some, but I think wide receiver is probably the good. And I think Wandale is kind of cheaper than his value seems to not be where he's priced at. I like that. I like Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward is going to take a bigger step this year. And of course, you always got multiple back sacks that you can do with the Titans. One of the easiest ones to do it with.
I do not like that Brendan Thorne has the Titans as his 32 ranked offensive line. I agree.
It's definitely hard
for a QB. And hey, they did invest in Carnell Tate. Everything, it can only go up is the thing. And so everyone is priced in that it's just not going to work out. But
exactly. But yeah, and that could obviously be even worse for the running back room, that with TP being kind of a. But yeah, I don't love to hear it. The Titans are definitely one of the teams I have, but that's wise because they're priced so cheap. It's kind of like the Jets. The Jets have a little bit better of O line, but their offense is very highly questionable. But they're easy to backstack because Geno's essentially free. Raiders in the same kind of boat. Yeah, man, this quarterback's got me frazzled a little bit.
To TPO Mafia, taking our left. Did he have any Packer beforehand?
He had
Christian Watson. Okay,
well, that makes sense. Yeah,
that's fair. Yep, and he obviously wasn't going to come back to him, so that's completely fair. Just
took the Waddle early, and then of course took Nick's first, and then
the Goff one. The Goff one
really is just it's pretty mind-boggling that he decided with his roster, he was like, hey, you know what? I think Jared Goff looks good on this team. Like
round above ADP.
that kind of just makes me scratch my head a little bit. Let's run down the team real quick here, Justin. We got a 1-3-5-1. Kyler, Marion Hampton, Javonte, Jadarian Price, wide receivers, Amonra, Jameson with our failed double stack, Jaden Reed, Jordan Addison, Wandale, and then Trey McBride. I mean, I like the team. Obviously, I hate that we missed, but it is what it is. We can still recover. There's still plenty in there.
Okay. My target right now, not that right now. Okay, for this pick, let's. I'm leaning.
Feeling we should take Ward. I mean, or you thinking that we should wait?
No, we can wait. Let's go, Coker.
Okay, I'm fine with that as well.
Gives us
obviously gives you option. Yeah, I like that. You add in the layer there where you can take Bryce as well. So,
because this will be a 3 QB team, so now I'm looking at we got Cam Moore, we got Bryce Young, we got Jacoby Brissett if we need it.
Yep. And of course, you could probably I don't know if you're in on Fernando or not, or taking even that risk, but if you're always Raiders are always free in the back too. But
I think I want to grab a running back with this pick.
Okay.
After if Tracy and Keaton are available. After that, it's probably not worth it, but I think this is a bit of a strong tier drop after these two.
For your running backs. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. It does get pretty murky after this, and you start getting into Pacheco, Tajay Spears.
Yeah.
Into that range.
Yeah. Future stack options as well. And we can throw Cam Ward at least in the queue.
Just in case we miss on these two.
Yeah. And then future stack options, we have Jawan Jennings. We have TJ Hawkinson for the Kyler. I think Bryce. Did you look at the board and see where T-Mac was drafted?
Where was he? Should be. Where was he? He should be in this range here. Yep.
Right there. Okay, so we will be blocking him. right? Yeah.
We will, yeah.
Bryce before
with
him.
Bryce, yep. So I guess Tracy here?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, so
there's a chance Cam Ward falls to us as well, but yeah.
Yeah, there is very much a chance, especially with all the quarterback run that's already went. But are you in on Scatterbo or not? I mean, I want to get your take too, because obviously I want to see how you're kind of playing that backfield. Are you buying Scatterbo where he's going? I mean, I've got a lot of Tracy. I did well beforehand. Obviously, didn't think Scatterbo would be as far along as he is. But it seems like injuries for those guys like Quinshon Judkins and him have kind of sped up this year. But yeah, I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on those guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the overall macro of these injuries is we are seeing people hitting the field faster. We are seeing people hitting their recovery faster, but that doesn't mean that we're seeing them have the same level of efficiency, speed, burst, agility, break, whatever it is, when we actually get into the games. And we've seen in past years that some of these players have come back faster than expected, but, struggled on the field to really kind of regain their form. So I still am trying to always keep that in the back of my mind. That's a Malik Neighbors thing. It's the Quinshon Judkins thing. It's Cam Scatterbo. There's a few others as well. That said, I think I believe the reports with all the Giants are saying this offense is going to run through Cam Scatterbo. They are not going to take it easy. They want him to just be the heart of it.
Yeah.
And so I get all that. I believe it. He's still going. I think his ADP is 43, and I like the other running backs that are around him. So I agree. Rare that he ever ends up at the top of my queue, but yeah.
I will say it. I have taken him a few times just because of that reason. He's ended up at the top of the queue, and I'm I have hardly none. So
yeah,
value. I'm going to take it there. So we're going to take Cam here. I'm going to assume, right?
Yeah, for sure. That's what we got. Picked up a round of value. Didn't reach for him. Might still get Bryce.
It's gonna. Which the T-Mac drafter is definitely going to get a shot at him now. But
yeah,
he has Josh Allen. I mean, he'll probably
do it, but that's okay. But
that's fine. We still got the guy we wanted, and we still got chances at some other guys too. So not too awful worried about it. I mean, he's got 2 chances to grab him, so it's highly likely that he does.
I'd be surprised if he doesn't.
I've seen crazier, but
yeah, for sure.
I agree. For sure. In the event that we, obviously
Juwan
Jennings, I knew was one that you mentioned there.
Mm-hmm.
Who else are you looking at through here? It's running backs are not exactly
I think this is going to be a 5 running back team, and don't feel the need to be grabbing one of these when we just talked about there goes Bryce. Those guys we like. From a tight end, it's a little bit of a reach, but I think I'd go TJ Hawkinson if we don't have Juwan Jennings.
Okay, so you like one or the other, right? Pretty much. Bless you. So we could snag Jennings here.
Yeah, I think so with Jennings.
We have a lot of week 6 buys, I will say that. But that's what happens whenever you turn 2 double stacks into 1.
But there you go. 5, 9, 11. We'll still end up with at least one more wide receiver, probably a 3-5-8-2. And so we can make sure we'll have 4 wide receivers for week 6.
And I'm going to assume that takes us off Hawkinson, right? Or you want to would you still lobby that mega?
Sure. I'd still definitely do Hawkinson.
Okay.
Just cheap to add another stack partner
and that's a good segue into that conversation too. Justin, I know you obviously stacking is a huge part of this game. What is too much for you in terms of stacking, or when do you kind of start to say, no, I don't feel like I need to add another player off of that team? Obviously it's not if you're talking about wide receiver 5, 6, 7, 8. But what about just and there goes Hawkinson anyway. But we can still just get your thoughts, on how you feel just in general about what's your, suitable number of stacking partners.
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of the strategy and discussion around this kind of centers around some theories, philosophies from the DFS space. And in DFS, the bigger the contest, the milli maker ones, you don't want to overstack because you need to hit the absolute nuts. And so you might have a double stack and that second player, goes a touchdown and 70 yards, which is like cool. But when you're playing in the Millie Maker, like you need the absolute nuts. You'd rather just had to hit on the one.
Have more shots on goal. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But when you're playing in a small contest, a 40-person high stakes one on DFS, then you actually maybe want to go 3 stacks because you're just trying to limit how many things you have to get right. And if you can even just get 60 yards from that third cheap wide receiver, whatever, you're happy. The difference in best ball is, well, one, you don't actually have to use everything in your lineup. So in DFS, as 0 really kills you, here you could have 3 wide receivers from the same team, 2 go off, 1 gets a 0 because he's hurt, and that's actually still a very strong success.
Sure.
The second is these actually aren't that large of tournaments when you think about it, because the finals end up being around like 500 people, maybe 1,000 for DraftKings.
Gotcha. Yep.
Okay, coming back to us.
I was gonna queue up a few guys that way. We didn't just run out of time or anything.
Yeah.
A couple quarterbacks here, tight ends. I know we're kind of lacking a tight end. Quarterbacks, I didn't know if those were where you wanted to land on these, or if you want to take one of these running backs. What are you thinking?
Let's do Alvin Kamara.
Kamara, it is.
Tom.
Got that.
Thought process is it's a five running back team. So I don't mind like playing for just, hey, knowing you're getting a solid player that's going to be active. We talked a little about earlier on that if he has that goal line work and is getting some pass catches, like not bad. And what if ETN goes down? There's really like no one behind him on a strong team.
Devin Neal, looks at Kendry Miller. I mean, guys that are easily replaceable. Of course, it's going to be Kamara as long as he can get out there and do it. Like, I mean, he's been the guy that's done it in the last however many years. So yeah, I totally agree with that. And again, we got really good value on that too. Got him literally 12 picks and pass. So you can't be mad about that. We are coming back up here, Justin. Again, still got a couple of quarterbacks. Not sure if you want to go that route.
Can you queue up Jacoby Brissett? I assume he's still available, or is he not?
No.
Oh, too funny. We'll have to. That'll be a fun one to look back and see where he went. I didn't Mendoza.
Okay. Yeah.
Grab Michael
obviously,
Mayer.
I was going to say Michael Mayer. I know he broke his nose and is missing practice, but obviously nothing that's going to keep him out too long term. So yeah, you like Mendoza over Geno? I mean,
for sure.
Geno absolutely could easily not be the starter by week 8 or 10. So fully agree there. We got 2 picks left here. 3, 5, 7, 1 is what we got. We started out with Amonra, Hampton, McBride, went Javonte, and then JMO. Jadarian Price, Jaden Reed, Jordan Addison, Kyler Murray, Mondell, Jalen Coker, Chylon Tracy, Cam Ward, Juwan Jennings, Alvin Kamara, and then Fernando Mendoza. So obviously going to need another tight end.
You could queue up Calvin Ridley if he's still available. Maybe not. Yep, there you go.
He is.
Fixed with Cam Ward. It's a bye week 9, I believe he is. So solves us away from that week 6.
True. And then I know we mentioned Michael Mayer as our last tight end. Oh, and there goes Ridley. Ridley gets snapped out from under us.
That's okay. There's a few other wide receivers here that I still like. So
you just want to go ahead and snag Mayer, or you wanting to grab one of these wide receivers?
No, I think we can. I think we can wait till Mayer at the very last pick. Be surprised if anybody does. In worst case, there's other places we can go. From a wide receiver here, all right. Throw Cooper Kupp in the queue.
Okay.
What about Pat Bryan? Is he still available, or did he go? Nope, he already went.
He just went. He's been getting a lot of hype lately too.
I think I have like 25% on him.
Are you? Nice. I have a little bit, but not nearly that much.
Go throw Dontavian Wicks, throw Rashad Bateman.
I was going to say, I mean, what's your thoughts on Keenan Allen here? I mean, is he going to sign? I mean, could he sign with Indy? What do you think he even has a decent role? Like, are you taking any Keenan? I know you said Wicks.
Bye weeks for week 6 are Detroit, Cincy, Minnesota, Miami.
Miami would.
I don't think he would go to any of those. So I'm trying to think of what we'd have to worry about. Indies week 13, we're fine there. Well, I'm okay with it. I think like I did on Trivia Wicks.
Cup more.
I definitely like Cooper Cup more. I mean, really, Cooper Cup and Keenan Allen are kind of the same thing at this point in their career, but one has a job.
Yeah, sure. Very, 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 very. That's pretty important to have at the moment too. So yeah, we can go Cup. That's fine. I think Cooper Cup is more than fine there. So we are on to the final pick here. I know we already got Michael Mayer queued up here. What other tight ends are you looking at? Any of these other guys you're taking stabs at? It's brutal, I know, but
Colby Parkinson. So I'm pretty big on Terrence Ferguson, but I think the bull case for Terrence Ferguson is he plays more of a wide receiver type role, that wide receiver 3. We could still have Colby Parkinson as a more traditional like inline. So I don't think that people who are bullish on Terrence Ferguson means they shouldn't be on Colby. I actually have quite a few teams that have Stafford and both Colby and Terrence.
Yeah, as much as much as they run double tides, that personnel, they're going to see the field a lot. I mean, obviously they re-signed Tyler Higbee as well, which again,
your contract though.
It is, but it's basically like a 1-year deal, and but they love the guy too. It's crazy, like because we thought he was just going to go off, be free agent. Maybe he's 32 years old. So some of the decisions that they make are really weird. But yeah, I know they really like the guy. They've always liked Higbee, but it's just one of those more things. It's like, but yeah, I do think Terrence Ferguson does definitely get a much larger role this year.
Not going to come into play here because we'll get one of these two, but curious from the reports you've been seeing and everything, David Njoku, I think I saw something that like, hey, he was actually playing, him and Kohler a little above the Gadsden stuff. I was curious if I've only skimmed that, but.
No, you're right. And it's funny. I think Pat Thorman today had posted something about, I guess he was reading one of the reports from the Chargers, and there was literally no mention of Gadsden in there as being one of like the players that was going through the motions and basically getting targets, and I'm pretty sure that Njoku was in there in Kohler too, which I thought was crazy, along with all the other wide receivers. But he did significantly point out that like there was no mention of Gadsden in there, which I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air on the whole Gadsden thing, which I have a lot of Njoku. I took a lot of them pre-NFL draft, so I figured he was going to land somewhere. I think this could be the possibly best landing spot for him. Don't really love the Kohler bull case that everybody's kind of. I'm not on that. I don't have any of him, but yeah, I mean, I'm still taking shots on Njoku. So I don't know how you're filling out that tight end room, but Gadsden has seemingly it's kind of seems like he's been thrown to the wind a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things where I've not been taking Njoku and not taking any Kohler. But over the next 2 weeks, like that's one I'm very willing to quickly change my priors and lean into. Because even if like we get positive news on Njoku, like as positive as can be, he's never going to go above like a 16th round ADP or something unless you had a Gadsden season-long injury or something.
Right.
So if the news is good there, I'm willing to kind of pack my bags. Yeah, but I'm not
totally get it.
Not bullish right now.
Yeah, again, that's kind of where I'm at too. Like, I'm not in love with any of them really, but I've got a lot of Njoku anyway, as it was. So, like I said, I'm just not really wanting to pile more on at the moment. So, Justin, let's quickly go back over the team here. And like I do with all my guests that I have on, got to get a rating from you on the team from 1 to 10. I got a feeling this is going to be a wonky one because just how many times we had to shift directions, run different routes on this one. But we did end with a 3-5-8-2. Kyler Murray, Cam Ward, Mendoza at the quarterback spot. Running backs were Hampton, Javonte Williams, Jadarian Price, Terrell Tracy at AK. The wide receivers, Amon-Ra, J-Mo, Jaden Reed, Jordan Addison, Wan'Dale Robinson, Jalen Coker, Juwan Jennings, and then Cooper Kupp. And then we, had McBride, got the nice fall there, and tacked on a late Michael Mayer for the stack. What do you think, man? What do you think about the team? And give us the rating, what you think.
Yeah, so I mean, it's tough to feel too good about when you are building for. We literally talked about the benefits of a Jared Goff and why you like a double stack. And, if Amon-Ra and Jameson Williams are having a great game in week 17, then there's probably a Jared Goff there with 30 that we're competing against. So like that really sucks.
Yeah.
But other than that, I feel like a lot of things went well with this draft. And we ended up with a Kyler double with Addison and Jennings.
Yes.
We ended up with a single for the Cam Ward and a single for the Bryce or
Fernando.
For the Mendoza and Mayer. I think from a players that were falling to us, I feel pretty good about. Definitely got some strong ADP value. Got a lot of my guys even at good prices. And we've got some interesting thoughts like the Michael Mayer and Trey McBride. I love as a 2 combo pairing because you get leverage on Brock Bowers gets hurt. It takes out the other elite tight end teams. So now you further if McBride has that great year, he furthers himself from the pack, and your Michael Mayer kind of complements it as well and can kind of plug and play flex or a few weeks here and there. I'd give it like a 6.5. And if we would have gotten Goff, it would have been like an 8.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was kind of in this. I was like, this is like definitely like a 6, like hard 6. Again, it's just brutal not getting that Goff pick there. Still can't believe that they got to unstack literally. And I could go back and look, but I just wanted to. Did the guy even have anybody did he even get anybody eventually with the Goff, or did he just
Tesla
get T-Slot or nothing? Nothing, huh?
Nothing. I mean, if you're taking Goff at that point when all the other Lions that go ahead of him are already gone, like you're not thinking about stacking. So like that's not a time that you reach around for Goff so that you can stack with Tesla later. Like, yeah. And
he even tacked on Aaron Rodgers there too. Does he even have any? He did. Yeah. He doesn't have a Steeler either, does he? No, he doesn't.
That's like the easiest team to get to.
I was gonna say, I was like, there's Roman Wilson. I mean, there's tons of Jeremy. There's like tons of Steelers too. Oh man, crazy. Okay, well, anyway, still just crazy. Yeah, that's part of drafting. Like that's just you got to be fluid like water. It's like you. I'm kind of like you. Like you can't just go into a draft with a set plan because it's always going to change. Like. You can sit there and say, I'm going to get this structure, or I want to get these certain, builds, or I'm going to get this stack. But you got to know, you got to be able to flex and row with the flow of the draft. So, I like the team. I really do. I think I do think it's unique with, I think the running back room is pretty dang good. Like I really like the running back room. It's probably absolutely our strength. Obviously the tight end room is really good too. We've got a lot of good wide receivers.
I like the
Black Week guys. Yeah, I mean, it's growing on me, like, the more I look at it. But when you first glance at it, it's like Amon-Ra and J-Mo, probably Jaden Reed is a little questionable, but Jordan Addison, I feel like, is going to have a really nice year. Wandale, I feel like, is going to have a really good year. Jalen Cook, okay. So, like I said, it's growing on me a little more and more there.
And for me, the way I looked at it is we have, 3 later wide receivers, but they're all stacked. And so that's what I like to have is you have your elite kind of couple, 1 or 2, and your ones later on, you've got Wandale stacked. Jennings stacked. And so those are the way that I'm looking more at. And Addison's middle pack, but also stacked. So my elite ones can carry me without needing the correlation of the QB. And then I have above average either seasons or games that bring their QBs along with them. And I can take one of these questions from chat here around like the Cooper Kupp or the Horton. For me, Cooper Kupp he has a role in that offense that no one's going to replicate or take from him. The Torrey Horton, that's a very similar role to Rashid Shaheed. And so you're kind of, like I think Torrey Horton, I was very bullish on him last year. I had a decent amount of him. It was really tough before that injury, with that injury. But when you think of the bull case and the likelihood of the bull case, how does he fit into that offense when him and Shaheed are running similar style routes? Like, I don't think Shaheed's not a guy you just move into the slot, and I'm not expecting them to do that for Torrey Horton either. Right. And this is a team that's like not trying to win games and beat you in the air. They're looking for the players that are making the right routes, the players you can trust, the players that are able to block. And like Cooper Kupp, despite his, deficiencies at this age, he still is like a coach's player. And so I expect like his role is just so secure. You're just hoping at that price at the end of a draft, he falls into a couple touchdowns.
Yeah. And that's, I think that's such a commonly misconstrued thing. It's like people are like, oh man, he's going to be a 0. Well, whenever you, like you said, like if you take them that late in the draft, you're not expecting, to 7-8 touchdowns. You're expecting to get like 1 or 2 in pivotal weeks that are going to, help you get somewhere in the season. It's funny how many times people are just so dead set on, the old, adages of fantasy. You got to have the guys who score the most points all the time. It's like, this is best ball, man. Like, that's the whole point of it. Like, that's why these guys are in round 18, round 17. That's what you're basically getting them for. But yeah, great point there. And appreciate you answering that question for him. And I agree. Like, Kupp has the role. Nobody's taking it from him. That's all great points. Anyway, so Justin, hey man, obviously very much of a pleasure for you joining me, man. You've been an excellent guest. Appreciate you coming on. Anything else you want to drop to everybody before we wrap this thing up, man? Tell anybody else. Obviously, tell them where to find you, what plans you got coming up, anything pertinent that you want to drop.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Hey, thanks for the invite, and always love, hey, shoot the shit, drafting, hanging out, and really enjoy all those, hey, those tweet threads and stuff that you put together. It's really helpful, and so. Appreciate it, chat. Thanks for hanging out. Anyone watch this afterwards? Yeah, find me at Justin Herzig. All my stuff, anything's there. Always enjoyable. Enjoy it. Best of luck. We have a month left of drafting. We've got football in 2 days. This is fun. This is going to be fun.
It's about to be in the golden age, man. We're about to be in the golden times. We're about to have football every week, multiple times a week. This is what we've been waiting for and wishing for the last 4 to 5, 6 months. So, yeah, it's great, man. It's going to be a pleasure. Best of luck to you, Justin. Hopefully you smash again, man. And hopefully we'll get another string going in the near future. So appreciate you. I'm gonna let you get. And to everybody, all the viewers, appreciate you guys. Thanks again for joining in, watching, liking, giving the subs, and all that fun stuff. But episode 40, we're gonna close it out. Appreciate everybody. We'll see you next time.